I know y'all are probably looking at this and wondering, what in the world is this? Yeah, so I was just playing around. I had a few minutes before I got on my next coaching call, and I had this analogy that I shared with another client. And I was like, this would be a great video idea, okay? So let me explain what I have here. This is a woman, and this is her house, okay? So we got to think of our bodies as our home, and we got to take care of it, right? Because when I'm dealing with people, a lot of them come to me because their health is deteriorating. They feel like they're falling apart, and they just want to know, what do I do? High blood pressure, diabetes, digestive issues, you name it. A lot of these things did not happen overnight, so we can't expect to fix it overnight. And one thing that I find in common with a lot of the people that I work with is they're like, I think what it is they don't understand what true health is. We don't really learn or understand it in a way that we not only just reverse it, but actually cure it or prevent it. Okay, that's what I meant to say. So what I want to do is simplify what health looks like by using this picture here. Because sometimes we have to understand, when I was growing up, I learned better in pictures. I learned better with analogies. And what happens is it takes you out the picture. You don't personalize it. You don't get emotional behind it. Because sometimes when we are speaking in a way that it's applying to us, we tend to let our feelings get involved. But if we look outside of it and think of it more as a house and how we treat other things, then we can relate to how we treat our bodies and other aspects of our lives. So before I get started, my name is Dr. Leona Allen. I'm founder of Freedom Health Systems, and I'm here to help you achieve more freedom in your health and your life by removing those physical, chemical, and emotional barriers to healing. And what I'm going to do today is actually help you understand what health is and what it takes to heal the right way. Because what a lot of us are doing are treating the symptoms. We're using medications and surgery, and we're finding, especially as we get older, that we still don't feel well, and we're adding more and more to the list. And a lot of you are out there like, why is this happening? What am I missing? I'm going to my doctor. I'm talking to my doctor. Some of you have made some major changes in your health and your life, but you feel like something is missing. So I'm here to fill in that gap. So let me explain it by using a house, because when I'm doing my consultations, I like to use analogies so people can really get it. So as you can see, just think of your house as your body. And what I'm going to do is kind of explain how to look at things by using the analogy that I used earlier, because it got it. And then the bells went off, and I was like, well, if this helped her, maybe it's going to help some of you out there as well. Okay, so don't laugh at my artwork, but I just wanted to have a little fun with this and, do this real quick before I get on my next call. So I'm not going to be here long, but I was really feeling it. So here we go. So here's our house, okay? It's inside, it's clean, everything is functioning okay. You got nice countertops, you got a clean carpet, new furniture, everything is working great, right? And it can be applied to our cars, anything, but let's use the house, for example. And then once you realize the foundation of this analogy, you can apply it to anything, and more importantly, apply it to your health and your life, okay? Excuse me. So here we are. We have a house, right? And you're gonna live in your house. You eat in there, you sleep in there, you bring in new items, so like furniture, your bed, your couch, you're bringing in plants. Over time, you're just doing things, right? You're gonna live in the house, and over time, there's gonna be wear and tear. So I pretty much feel that you can agree with me on that, right? So one thing that I mentioned to a client is part of living in a home, it's going to get dusty. It's going to get dirty. The bathroom is going to get dirty. The kitchen's going to get dirty. You're going to throw away the trash. And even though a lot of things accumulate in the home, things you don't need, clothes you don't wear anymore. If you have children, they grow out of their toys. So the point I'm trying to make is things are going to get lived in. Things are going to get used. The toilet's going to get clogged up. The stove is going to stop functioning. The air is going to go out, right? We've all been through that. And what we do in life is we correct it, right? So sometimes we don't try to put a Band-Aid on a lot of things. Sometimes we do until we have the money or the time to fix something. But, it works okay in a home, but we can't do that with our bodies long term. This is the point I'm trying to make. So to make this simple, let's just use the trash analogy. So over time, what I'm going to do for sake of my art, pretend this is inside the house. So as you're living, as you're cooking, cleaning, we accumulate trash. We are going to throw things away, period. That's just a part of it. So you throw away trash, you got food in there, you got cleaning supplies in there. You have, you just over time, you're just throwing away trash, all right? So you see that we have all these trash cans, okay? So say for the most part, we throw away our trash. My trash person comes weekly. So they come every Tuesday, and every Monday I like to empty out all the trash cans. Even before Monday, I have the trash bin outside. So on a regular basis, we throw the trash away outside. Okay, all this goes out here throughout the day. Sometimes by the end of the day, at least every couple days, my trash is going outside. Okay, it's not accumulating. Okay, and in between that, we're dusting, we're vacuuming, we're maintaining, changing filters, and all that. So think of the house as your body, these illnesses, as trash accumulating inside your body. Stay with me, okay? So this is what happens. So on a day-to-day or weekly basis, we are throwing out the trash so it doesn't accumulate, okay? So for me, it's outside, and then on Tuesdays, it goes to, here's the street, okay? It goes to the street, I take it here, and the dumpster or the waste management comes and picks it up. Got it? Okay. So that's what health is like. Over time, your body, whether it's eating foods you shouldn't eat, poor digestion, when you're not assimilating your food, when you're not having regular bowel movements, just think of that trash accumulating day after day, year after year. All right. So what I have here is what it looks like when you're taking out the trash. So when you're doing that, you have a couple trash bags, right? And, they're not that big. These are bedrooms, kitchens. I have more than one trash can in my house, right? And every week it's coming out so it doesn't accumulate, right? So let's just say weekly or daily, you're taking out the trash and it's going to the corner. So let me just erase this real quick, just so I don't lose you here. So anyway, I'm just going to erase most of it. Here we go. All right. So that's kind of like what maintaining that looks like. Okay. So example number 2. What happens when you don't remove the trash? Okay. What happens? I'm going to use red this time. Here's your trash again. This time, you're not letting it out the house. It's just sitting there over time. Okay. You got your kitchen trash, your bedroom trash, your bathroom trash. All that is just accumulating over time. You're not dumping it. You're not, like in the previous example, it's not going to the bin outside and then eventually picked up and eliminated. Okay? So what happens, you're saying, okay, this trash can is full. So instead of taking it out, I'm just going to get another trash can. Okay, then that gets full. I'm going to get another one and another one. So over time, the first couple trash cans, no big deal. Sometimes I can deal with some trash cans and maybe I'm not feeling well or I forgot and maybe I might go a few days and it doesn't bother you. But just say, for example, you don't take out the trash for whatever reason. Maybe you canceled your waste management service or you're just not doing it, okay? So what do you think will happen? You just let it sit there. So what happens when the trash just sits there? After a week, it doesn't get too bad unless it's meat or something. When it's something like that, I dump it immediately. I literally tell the kids, my boys, if they're eating chicken wings or something, put it in a plastic bag and take it outside immediately, because within 24 hours, it stinks up the whole house. Fish, things like that. So I never leave meat in the house overnight. I dump it immediately or throw it in the woods and let the birds get it, okay? But the point I'm trying to make is, if it just sits there day after day, week after week, and instead of taking out the trash, you just get another trash can and another and another. And what happens is it starts to stink. It starts to form maggots. Flies get in the house, roaches, ants. Okay, you're creating an environment where you start to get that stench. Stay with me. I know it sounds gross, but this is what's happening in our body. What happens is year after year, we're accumulating so much trash. So instead of thinking of trash, think of ultra processed foods, things that just aren't healthy for you. The processed foods, the chips, the candies, the cakes, the pies, the ice creams, the soft drinks, all these things don't serve the body. The body can't utilize it. It's just sitting there, not being metabolized. It's just sitting there, rotting and fermenting in your body. And over time, you start to have bloating. You start to have constipation. You start to have so many illnesses. And instead of taking out the trash, that undigested food, instead of removing it, you're just treating it with let's say instead of, for the sake of this analogy, you're just using plug-ins, you're just using air freshener. Maybe you'll open up a window or two, okay? But over time, it's just not going to work, all right? You're still going to have that stench. You're still going to start to feel uncomfortable in your own home. And that's what a lot of you are doing. You're just accumulating the trash. And instead of taking out the trash or removing the source, you're creating all these maggots and parasites in your digestive system. And just think of constipation as all this undigested food just staying in your bowels. And yes, you do create pathogens. It just really messes up. That's why a lot of us have digestive issues, because of the increase in pathogens that are causing a lot of these illnesses, the bacteria, the parasites, the viruses. Okay, that is sign of an unhealthy gut. And a lot of people don't really understand it that way. So over time, as you're accumulating this stuff, right, you continue to get sicker and sicker. For the sake of this analogy, the house is getting stinchier and stinchier. I don't know if that's a word, but it just sounds good right there. So you got to do something. And what do you think happens? Over time, the stench starts to come outside the home. The neighbors start to smell it. It starts to affect the outside. And maybe you get to the point where you do start to put the trash in your driveway. You're not taking it to the street so it can be picked up. Maybe you're starting to put it in the backyard or the front yard. And then before you know it, then it's starting to bother the neighbors. So some of you are getting to that point when things are seen on the outside, then you want to do something about it. Now everybody else knows your business. Like, what is that person doing? Why are they accumulating trash? So that's how we approach our own health. Inside, you don't know what's going on, but as soon as you start to see things on the outside, then you try to treat it with symptoms or hide it or ignore it or build a fence around it. So instead of taking this trash out and now everybody sees it and you can't hide it anymore, you just build a fence, okay? You start to build a fence around it. But over time, if you keep this up, it just gets worse and worse. And then you just need a bigger fence and a bigger fence. And then it's out of control, where it's not just making your body sick. It's making the neighbors sick. It's making your community sick. So you see how it just grows and expands and gets worse over time. So it depends on where you are. Some of you may not be aware of, maybe just have 3 or 4 trash bags and you can live with it. Okay? And then you wait till you get to this point before you do something about it. Don't do that. It's easier to maintain, like that earlier example. And what I'll do is just use the blue ink. Okay, so remember we were taking out the trash, and before we maybe just had a few trash cans, maybe one in each bedroom, and we continued to remove it every week. Okay, that is easy to maintain. We don't wait till the beginning of the year to do a 1 week detox or a 21-day detox or whatever it is. This is something that has to happen on a regular basis. So weekly, you're taking out the trash. You're avoiding all that accumulation of toxins. And then maybe once a month or every 3 months, or I like to do it every season. Like I maintain stuff on a weekly, daily basis, but monthly I do a level of cleaning. Like I like to clean my bathrooms weekly. I clean my kitchen daily. And I like to do a deep cleaning quarterly, where I'm getting the corners, I'm moving the refrigerator and cleaning behind the refrigerator. I like to do that quarterly. So sometimes we got to do that with our bodies. We have to do daily cleanses, weekly cleanses, monthly cleanses to prevent all this overload. Because by the time you get to this point and everything is starting to be expressed on the outside, that's the chronic disease. That is the diagnosed diseases that are out there. And a lot of them are metabolic lifestyle diseases, such as diabetes and hypertension. Okay, so the thing is, when you're healing, a lot of us are chasing these bags and trying to hide these bags and get these bags under control. Or maybe you're just taking care of the outside bags, but not addressing the inside trash bags. This is why healing takes time. This is why we got to start from the inside out. This is why we have to start removing the bags from the inside, okay? And don't let it accumulate to the outside. The outside is a representation of what can't be held on inside anymore. You've lost control. So healing is about taking control. Healing is about weekly, daily, monthly maintenance. And we got to take care of what we have. You know, sometimes when you have this home 20, 30 years later, it can still be in great condition if you take care of it. But if you let it go and don't take care of it, it will break down a lot quicker. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I know it's kind of messy, but I had to do it some kind of way. I wanted to do something more visual, but let me know what you think. And let me know if this helped you in any way. But my job is to help you understand what health is and what it really takes. So let's start taking out the trash. And until next time, go out there and achieve more freedom in your health and your life. Take care.